Hey there, these are the top 10 games that I recommend you should play on the Nintendo Switch Online. To start off with, at number 10, I've got Gradius. Now, Gradius is one of those old school arcade scrolling shoot 'em ups, and I would say it still holds up today. You could play this game still now and, challenge yourself and have fun. It's still very addictive. It's very hard as well. So don't be surprised if you game over in the first stage again and again and again. But you know what, it's still fun. It's as fun as it was back in the days, and it still holds up today. And on this top 10 list, that's the sort of games I'm recommending. Games that you can still play today in 2023. And Gradius is definitely one of them. So yeah, at number 10 I've got Gradius. And at number 9 I've got Kid Icarus. Now, Kid Icarus, it's one of those Nintendo franchises that, it's just been dormant, asleep for like how many years? I think the last one came out in 2013, I think. Yeah, so it's been 10 years. It was rebooted by Sakurai, the guy who created Smash Bros. But it was completely different to the original. This is the original. The original is a side-scroller, and it was made by the guy who made Metroid, believe it or not. But for its time, it was a very good, shooter, scroller, platformer. And to be honest with you, I personally think it still holds up today. If you've not played it, I totally recommend you check it out. It's still very playable, still fun. And hopefully Nintendo will reboot the series at some point in the future. I think there's only ever been 3 Kid Icarus games ever in the last 30 odd years. So yeah, we're hoping Nintendo would reboot the franchise and make another one. So that's number 9. At number 8, I've got Kirbys Adventure. Now, for me, this is one of the better looking NES games because it came out in the early 90s after Super Mario Bros. 3, which for its time was probably the best looking platforming game. Kirby, as you can see, is more colourful, it's got more detail in the background. But yeah, the thing that really, caught my attention with Kirby back in the days was, his ability to just steal other enemies' abilities by sucking them in, and being able to fly just as much as he can. I thought that was really cool as well. So yeah, I think Kirby still holds up today, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. I mean, especially after playing the more recent Kirby games on the Switch. I'd totally recommend it. If you like the modern Switch Kirby games, you need to check out the original. This ain't the very first Kirby game, but it's, one of the best. So yeah, totally check it out. It's on the Switch Online, and that's number 8. At number 7, I've got Super Mario Bros. 2, the original sequel to Mario 1. And as you can see, it uses the same engine as Mario 1, so it just looks almost the same visually. However, it's a very, very difficult game, and that's what makes it stand out. For Dark Souls fans, I think you'd love it. This is the Dark Souls of Mario games. I'm putting it down as number 7 because I think today it's still very playable, just as playable as Mario 1, and even more so because people today love hard games. So if you're looking for a challenge, check out Mario Lost Levels or Mario 2. It's on the Switch Online, and I would put that down as my 7th best game on the NES. Next, we've got at number 6. Let's have a look. Super Mario Bros. The original. Right, so I had to put the original ahead of Mario 2 because it is the original, and it's the one I have the most fond memories with. And it just plays as well. I mean, it's more balanced, obviously. It's not super difficult like Mario Lost Levels. It is still difficult, but it's balanced. It starts off fairly easy and gets harder like all games. And it's still very playable today. This is the game that saved the video game industry. It's iconic. It's the game that introduced the world to side-scrolling platform games. It has to be on this list. And that's where I rank Mario 1. Next up, I've got at number 5, Mario 2 again. Very confusing, I know. But this is the kind of sequel Mario 2 that we got here in Europe and around the world, I think. Basically, this was a different game, and then Nintendo just changed the characters to Mario, because the Mario 2 that we saw earlier, Lost Levels, was too hard, so they decided, let's turn this into a Mario game instead, So this is the Mario game we know today as Mario 2, but originally it was a different game. I can't remember the name now, Doki something. So yeah, that's what happened. But to me, I still enjoy it. I see it as Mario 2. It's a very unique game. It's such an original gameplay design, and you know, you go from one end of the screen, come out the other. I thought that was really cool. It plays completely different to the original Mario games. It's not really a true Mario sequel. It is meant to be a dream, so it's a completely different game to the original games. But it still has a very unique game design, and I love it. And I totally recommend Mario 2 if you've never played it before. So yeah, that's Mario 2. Next up at number 4, I've got Punch-Out! Now, this game is brilliant. This is one of my all-time favourite games. I love this game. I think the sequel, Super Punch-Out! On the SNES is better, but still love the original. Absolutely love the original. I think it's very playable. When Nintendo released this on the Wii Virtual Console about 15 years ago, I was on it. I couldn't believe how much fun I was having on an old NES game. It definitely holds up. There's not many boxing games out these days. I think this game inspired games like, you know, Let's Get Ready to Rumble on the Dreamcast. It's just a cool game. It's fun. It's got great characters. The gameplay is just solid. It's brilliant. And for an NES game, I'd say this one definitely holds up its gameplay today. And if you haven't played it before, go check it out. Punch-Out! It's one of the best sports action games you'll get on the NES. At number 3, I've got Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. Now this one is the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. It is the first sequel to Zelda, and it's also the most unique Zelda game ever made. It has experience points, it has random encounters, it has elements from JRPGs that you wouldn't see it again in another Zelda game. But it also has a lot of side-scrolling action like a Mario game. It's cool, it's different, it's very, very different to any other Zelda game ever released. It's even a numbered sequel. Zelda games are not numbered sequels anymore. But you know what, it's a fun game. It's one of the best action-adventure games you'll find on the NES, so I highly recommend it. It's hard as well. It's very hard. For a Zelda game, it's very hard. So go check it out, guys, if you've never played Zelda 2. It's awesome. And at number 2, I have the original Legend of Zelda. This is where it all began. This game is an open world game. Today, gamers love open world games, but Zelda 1 did it 35 years ago, you know? Way before the games that do it today. I mean, just look at the map. It doesn't even tell you where you're going, but you can go wherever you want. There's no restrictions. You can do dungeons in any order. You can go wherever you want. Just explore. That's what this game's all about. There's no one around telling you where to go, what direction to go, what to do next. You just gotta explore and figure it out. That's what this game's all about, exploration. It's also the first game to introduce a save feature, because in them days you had to use passwords to save your progress. So yeah, it was very iconic, and you know, it's a classic. If you've never played it, go check it out. I totally recommend it. And at number 1, I have Super Mario Bros. 3. Again, another landmark all-time great. You know, how do you top the original Mario 1? How? I mean, you just gotta be innovative. You know, Mario 3 introduced so many features that today are standard in video games. For example, the world map, you know, where you get to select, you know, what stage to do and all that. That's standard in all games today. And then there's the power-ups, you know, being able to fly, frog suit and so on, you know. It's just iconic. It's just introduced features after features, and the game is beautiful to look at. The gameplay is flawless. It was just way ahead of its time, and even today, the only game that could really rival it, you know, probably Super Mario World, which came out a few years after, and fans have been debating for years which one's better, Mario World or Mario 3. I don't know. But yeah, Mario 3 is the best game on the NES, and one of the best ever. Let me know in the comment section, guys, if you like this list and what your favourite NES games are. And if you're going to check out some of these games, if you've played them before, let me know in the comment section. And thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll be doing more top 10s like this. And yeah, check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.